Welcome, everyone, to the 2022 Winter 3D Metal Model Olympics. The Olympic arena is full of fans, and all of our athletes are eagerly waiting the beginning of our games. Let's go live to our runner just outside the stadium with the Olympic flame.
GB1, why am I running with a red lighter? This is just stupid. Fine. It keeps going out.
The Olympic 3D Metal Model Flame represents the burning passion for creativity in all of us that never goes out. Now, let's go live for the lighting of the flame.
Oh, GB1, I haven't ran like that since the PT days. Where am I supposed to put the flame? I don't see anywhere to do that. Really? Okay, well... Now the spirit and flame of creativity is flying in all of you. That was really dumb, GB1. And we don't even have a centerpiece. This doesn't look like the Olympics at all. Well, we need to fix this. This is not very Olympic-y at all. Let me think of the... the guys over at Metal Time actually have an awesome Ring of Strength model. And if we start with that one, I think we can bring a lot of people in and join our games. Hey everyone, and welcome to Groove Builders, the show where we create together. I'm your hostess, Swordly Cone, and this is my friend GB1. He was the event coordinator. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Metal Time Rings of Strength and telling you everything you need to know to get this model built. Now, what things do you need to know? What tools are involved? And will the instructions actually get this thing built? These are all great questions, Groovers. Let's get down to the workbench and begin our first event.
There we have it. All of our pages needed to build our Rings of Strength. Yes, there's not a whole lot here, but I do see some things that might be tricky. The first thing we're going to talk about is these little latch pieces and how to secure them correctly. Next, we'll talk about our ring pieces and how to slide them properly into place. And finally, we'll tell you everything you need to know about our stand. Groovers, what tools are we going to need to build this? That's a great question. Let's ask our tool expert. Timothy? Why do you always have to interrupt at the worst moments? The Rings of Strength from Metal Time is a build that's pretty straightforward and only comes with a rasp. While useful, you will also need pliers and tweezers. Now, that's everything you need. Let me get back to training for the run.
Thanks, Timothy. There's not a running event. As always, these are just our suggestions, and you really don't need anything but pliers and a rasp to get this built. But having some tweezers around will make things a little bit easier for you. Alright, now we've looked at our instructions and we have all our tools. There's only one thing left for you to do, and that's to press that like and subscribe button. We're currently trying to get to 4,000 subscribers and really could use your help. No pressure at all, though. Oh, no worries. I'm just waiting. It's okay. It's actually just right there, you know, big Olympic event. You want to represent and all that stuff. So, yeah, just the red button and then the little thumbs up there. No worries. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We got all kinds of really cool builds coming on in the future, and know you're going to be here is kind of awesome. All right, now let's get down to the workbench and get these rings built.
The Metal Time Rings of Strength is a build that any Olympic 3D Metal Model fan will be proud to have in their collection. With just a few parts and a couple of hours in the afternoon, you too can build this little model. Let's get started with our first page. Unlike your typical 3D metal model, these builds from Metal Time are made with a thicker metal. This metal can make things a lot easier for us to shape, but it also can make things a little bit more difficult when it comes to securing our tabs. For our first part, all we're doing is slightly bending our pieces, then inserting them into the insertion holes. I found personally when it came to securing these pieces, if you follow the instructions, you're really going to have a hard time. Just bending these tabs over causes these parts to fall out, as you can see. So after struggling for a little bit, I went ahead and just started to twist these tabs. After completing it, it had no effect on the model, so I highly recommend twisting these tabs to save you any headache. Okay, this little guy here looks nice and tight. Let's go ahead and do the others. Looking pretty good. Now, if you're having some more problems with these still falling out, don't worry. When we put the other side on, it should stay in place. Let's move on to our next part where we're making our rings. For our ring detail pieces, we need to make sure they're filed down properly before we form and attach them onto our rings. The first rings we're working on are the bottom 2 rings, and these are made up of 4 parts. After filing them down, we can go ahead and bend down our sides. Then bring them over to our piece and try to line them up. You might have some difficulty getting the tabs in their insertion holes. You can make small adjustments with your pliers to be able to get everything into the right place. Sometimes starting on the right side and then working your way to the left side can make things a little bit easier too. Now we just need to make some quick twists. And there we go, all nice and sturdy. Now let's move on to our center ring. Much like the last 2, we're going to be taking these pieces, filing them down, and then bending the edges down 90 degrees. The difference with these ones is that we need to take the tabs and insert them underneath the parts we've already installed. This can make things a little bit tricky, but don't worry, we can actually lift the pieces up ever so slightly and put the tabs into their insertion holes. If we need to make some small adjustments, we can reach through the other side with our pliers and make them just like this. There we go, now we just need to do the outer ones. Similar to our center ring, our outer rings require us to put our pieces underneath the details we've already installed. This makes things a little bit harder because we have to kind of guess where our tabs are going to go. Personally, I found working on one set of tabs to be a lot easier than trying to get them all in at once. This way, if I need to, I can make some small adjustments with my pliers. Some quick little twists, and there we go! Our rings are all attached. Now, we need to make our stand. Our stand is made up of 5 different parts. The most important thing to remember here is that we need to make tight 90-degree bends. We can use our Bender 1.0 tool to help us. Yeah, Timothy, you forgot a tool. You think I would miss that one? Little guy. Anyway, to pick this little guy up, check out groovebuilders.ca. For our center part, I'm going to go ahead and pre-bend it a little bit with my thumb. Then I can attach the back supports and make the center match up with the sides. Some quick little twists, and we're good to go. Now we need to work on the top and attaching our rings. This part can be a little bit hard because our tabs need to match up exactly with their insertion holes. You might need to make some adjustments with the flaps on the left and right side, either forward or back, to get them into their proper place. Once one side is in, I would go ahead and secure those tabs. Then you can work on the other side, trying to get it where it needs to go. Twisty, twisty, and there we go! Our rings are all attached. Now we need to put our 2 assemblies together.
And there we have it! The Rings of Strength from Metal Time! This build was actually pretty easy to put together, not difficult at all. The instructions telling you to bend the tabs over was a little bit misleading. Trying to do that, especially with any 3D metal model, is kind of hard. In the past, I've told you to go and twist one of those tabs to make sure everything locks together, and then at the end of the build, go back and bend them back over. I don't advise doing that with these thicker models. Because of their thicker metal, the more that you bend and twist them and redo it again and again and again, the weaker the metal actually gets. So in my opinion, because you can't actually see any of the tabs on here, going ahead and twisting them is no big deal.
Now, the other thing I want to mention is getting these little rings here at the top can be a little bit tricky, and if you're not careful, you'll actually scratch the finish on them. So just make sure you really take your time when putting these little bits all together. Outside of that though, this model was very straightforward, and I can pretty much recommend it for anyone out there either looking to get into the hobby or maybe has a couple of models under their belt and wants to add something Olympic to their collection. And with that, group builders, we're at the end of our show. I had a really good time building the Rings of Strength from Metal Time with you, and if you guys had a good time, don't forget to press that like button. For more videos like this, hit subscribe as well, as we got all kinds of really cool content coming out in the future. Want to build your own Rings of Strength and support the channel? Check out groupbuilders.ca. That's right, we got Metal Time models at great prices with fast shipping to the United States and Canada. Until next time, Groovers, keep building. Now, I'm gonna go put this in the centerpiece of our stadium for our next event.